The time has finally come. Today is going to be Dr. Cecil's last ever session with us. He is ever so nearly done, and we are going to finish him off so he can have his permanent spot on my shelf here and look down at us forevermore. There's a few things that we've got to do before he can be finished and ready to go, so join me as we say goodbye to our beloved gentleman here and finish Dr. Cecil once and for all. I feel a bit emotional actually, because this man has taken me years. I started him before I even thought about starting this channel, and he is so important to me. The fact that he started as a little sketch and he's become this actually terrifying gentleman is so cool, and I really love how far we've come. It's going to be an adjustment to my life to have Dr. Cecil sitting up there all finished. I'm really happy that we've got this far, and we're going to finish him off today. The first thing that I've done to prepare for this eventuality is I have made him a sash. Now the way that I did that was I've got a long strip of fabric and I've sort of hemmed the edges so that you don't get that sort of looseness, and then all I did was I sat on the sofa for a couple of nights leisurely, it wasn't rushed, and I just sewed on these little patches here. And then so what I have done is I've just safety pinned it to his collar here so that it can be moved whenever we want. I think it looks really sweet, and it shows that our man has accomplished a fair bit in his time. So that's the first thing that I've done to make him finish ready. So on our task list today is, first of all, this hat. Now you can see if I put it on, I've safety pinned a bird onto the very top of it, and I'm thinking because it's quite big and heavy as a hat, that I'm going to keep it on him when he's stationary and in display mode, I'm going to call it. But when he's being used for puppetry needs, I might remove it because it is a little bit heavy and the balance can be askew. So for style wise, he will have a hat. But I'm thinking when I operate him, I'm going to take it off. When I was making his feet long ago, I said that an option is, and a lot of puppeteers prefer it, if you safety pin the legs on, because some shots when you're working in TV and things like that require the legs to be removed for certain bits, or just, you know, practicality reasons. So it's good if they can just be detached, and that inspired me. So I have safety pinned on this bird onto the top of the hat. Because it is a real vintage safari hat, it's quite hard. I think it's pretty solid, so there's not really any hope of me sewing things on, and I didn't want to glue anything on because I didn't want to ruin the hat. So I think a safety pin is a really good option here, and I'm potentially going to safety pin this one to his shoulder or something when we're finished. But I'm going to put this down because it is quite large and it gets in the way. Now I got this bow tie ages ago from a chazza, and I think it was like £2 or £3, not even that, probably about £1. And you can see that it's a bit long, sort of the length of strip that we get given for the neck area. There's no point in having it really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bit off, and I'm just going to sew it into his shirt so that it's secure there. All I want is that front bow tie area. And I'm probably going to just get rid of this elastic as well, just in case it can be seen at all. I'm probably going to take off the sash for now as well, because I did forget to factor in the jacket. There's something really incredible about being on a puppet journey from start to finish. If any of you are making your own puppets at home, I'm sure you kind of feel the same way. You start with a little concept, a little creation, you build the head, you build the eyes, you build the arms, and eventually this character just forms, and it's just so amazing to see this guy sitting here who otherwise wouldn't be if I didn't have that thought, if I didn't write that down, if I didn't make that artwork. Do you know what I mean? The way the collar's positioned, if I put it underneath the collar, it would look really weird and strange. So I'm going to put it in front and just have it be front and center there. So I'm first going to bring my needle and I'm going to go just underneath this little bit of the bow tie and bring my needle all the way out again, go back through the shirt and do that a couple of times. And just like that, he's got a really cute little bow tie. So I'm going to cut that off. There we go, and it's literally that simple. I'm honestly so proud of him and so pleased. He doesn't, to me, look very good, but the other day one of my friends came over. He operated Dr. Cecil in a way that I've never been able to operate him, but the way he brought him to life, it was like, oh my god, I've actually made a pretty good puppet. Do you know, like when it hits you that, oh god, I've actually made something that works and it's good. It's so cool, and I really hope that if you ever start your journey into puppetry, you get that same fulfillment and you get that, I can't believe that I was ever capable of doing that. It's a really strange feeling, but it is really cool. I mean, we work so hard on these are our children, these take up our lives, and it's so nice that we finally get to give him a good send-off in a way that we're confident with how he looks. So the next step is this vest. If you remember, this vest is what I got from eBay, and the problem with this vest is that it is a fishing vest and the age on it says 3 to 4 years because they don't make fishing vests for infants. So I had no choice but to get a bigger fishing vest. So what we're going to do with this is, you can see how there's 3 layers of pockets here, and all I'm going to do is just cut off an entire pocket because I think that will suit him a lot more and it will be more fitted to his body size. If I just snip off a little bit here, get off this entire bottom pocket, and then you've kind of got a vest that kind of height. To do this, I am going to use my terrible sewing machine. My sewing machine is awful, and every time I turn it on, it kind of smells like burning, and then it doesn't really want to sew. So I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got. We don't want the fabric to be frayy, and in order for that to be the case, I need a little bit of extra fabric at the end of my cut that I can fold over so that it looks really seamless. Literally, like what they've done here is get the end of the fabric, fold it over, and then you've got this nice little finish, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So all this length has been removed because he's got such a little body, and we're left with this, which is much more his size and style. The next step is to hem it, and you can see this lovely length here. I'm going to fold it over so that we get a really nice finish. So it's time to get out my god-awful sewing machine, and hopefully she doesn't burn the house down. Here she is again, lovely and brilliant as ever, and definitely not falling apart or setting herself on fire at this present moment. What I'm going to do first is change the bobbin, because the bobbin I've got in it currently is this sort of burgundy red colour, and I want something a little bit more plain that's going to blend in with this jacket here. They're really cheap. You can get like sort of cheap sewing kits that come with loads of bobbins and loads of bits, and I've got this thing here off Amazon and it's got loads of different colour bobbins in it. I'm going to try and pick one that best suits the colour range of this, and I know I'm not going to get it perfectly accurate. Now, every sewing machine is different. It's very tricky, and sometimes it can be quite fiddly as well. I'd also like to address that sewing machines can make bobbins of their own. If you've got thread, you can chuck it on there, set a setting, and then this bit up here will tie your bobbin. So I've got my little thingy-majiggy here. It's got a little lever here and it's got a little flappy bit. I'm gonna get the bit of loose thread from my bobbin, which is a challenge in itself because they don't make it easy to spot. I'm gonna put my bobbin in here, and then on the side, you've kind of got this alcove and this little curve, and I'm bringing my thread round into that little curve, and I'm pinging it, and it pings, and it holds in there, and that's important for some reason. If you wanted to get the bobbin out, you pull this lever at the back, and then it should fall out. But bear in mind, my sewing machine is not the best example. But that is how you set the bobbin. And then it's a case of putting it back in the machine. And to do that, I want to make sure that my thread is coming out to the right of this lever thing here. Again, for reasons I can't explain. But I'm going to put it in with the thread coming out to the right. And all you do is slot it in until you hear a click. And then the next piece of thread that I put into this machine is going to pick that out. So once you've got the thread of your choice that you want on the other side, and once I've put the thread through my needle, I can then use that to catch the thread that I've put underneath from my bobbin. There's a little twisty thing here on the side. I'm bringing my needle down, and as it comes back up, I should be able to pull it. There we go. And it's brought up the thread from the bottom, and then you can just pull that through, and that is how you put a bobbin in. I'm getting my loose bit here, and I'm curling it around, and I'm just going to clip that into place so that I've got a guideline, and already my machine has got caught and ruined it. So I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to stitch this together with my temperamental little lady here, and I will be back with you very shortly. That was legitimately difficult. I can promise you that it actually smells like burning dust, which is wonderful. So we'll be finished with her now. It's not the neatest job because she wouldn't really let me do it well. I've done the best I can with what I've got. I've gone around the edges not very neatly, but we do have a new little waistcoat here that is more his size and is going to suit him really well. So I'm going to put it on. That is actually adorable, right? I'm going to put the sash back on over the top. This is what we've got so far. We're cooking on gas. We're doing really well. If you'd noticed, when I put the vest on, his glasses flew away. So we've got to do something about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them very, very lightly to his head. I'm going to do 2 little incisions, each by his ear. One either side of his head is going to be enough to hold those glasses in place. And I'm going right behind the ear, a stitch around the glasses. I'm going to do that a couple of times, and then hopefully on the other side as well. And the beauty is, again, because of his textured fur, you can't really tell where I've been. You're not going to see that. It's totally fine. So that means means that the gentleman's glasses are secure, and what is left are the accessories. So I've got these cute little bird watching binoculars. They're actually not bad. Wow. Okay, there we go. And then I've got this magnifying glass here. It's a little bit heavy, but I thought maybe it could go in a pocket somehow. But if it's too heavy, I might leave it off. Yeah, I think it's going to weigh him down actually and make him go a little bit lopsided. So I'm going to hold off on this for now. But we do have something you might recognize, a little compass that we made for him not too long ago. And I thought that could go really nicely on his vest here. It's so cute. Okay, we're very nearly done. We're very nearly done. Not much more to go. If I get the hat, I just love it when it all comes together. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to take him off for the moment as we assess where I want the other bird to go. When I made these, I kind of overshot how big they are in relation to our little guy. I don't really know where I'm gonna put them. This little guy on the shoulder here in this little crevice area looks really nice. So I'm gonna try and secure him again with safety pins so that I can change my mind should I want to. Safety pins, I know it looks like I'm doing a lot of that, but safety pins are a really good thing for puppet making. Puppets need to be adaptable and changeable. So if you are using it for practical purposes, it's really good to have options. If you need for a shot to take the bird away, it's so much easier to just unpin it than it is to unstitch it and all that, because you never know what is going to be required of him. So I've got this one on the side here, and the final step is to get this one back on the hat and see him all together. What do we think? Oh my God, what do we think? I can't believe that we finally got this far. I'm going to keep his feet bare, by the way, because I'm so proud of how the feet turned out. I think it's quite funny to just have his little feet naked. All this work, all this time, all of these ideas and these imaginations have paid off, and we've got a finished puppet, the first ever finished puppet on this channel. I'm so immensely proud of him. He's got so much going on. He took so long to make. We went through together, step by step, the feet, the head, the eye mechanism that makes his eyes move up and down. When I finally found this hat after all this time, the birds, everything, we've been through it all together, and I love it so much, and he is ready to sit on my shelf forevermore. It's kind of emotional. They're almost like my kids because I get so attached to them as I make them, and I make their personality and their entire character and their design, and to see it finished is so cool. I honestly urge, if you ever want to try this out, to make a puppet of your own from scratch that you've designed, that you've had control over, because I guarantee when you finish it and you see it, it's so cool to think that this came from my mind, and you can do the same. You can totally do the same. This is the first puppet to ever be finished on this channel, on this brand new channel that I started a month ago. Thank you so much, by the way, for all of your support, because it's going so well. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I think he looks so fun and so cool. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. We've got so much more going on in the channel at the moment, and we've got more to come. We're currently making a very cursed cupcake called Clive 2.0, and we're finishing Betsy, our gardener puppet. If you would enjoy any of those things, or anything that's going to come in the future, because I've got loads of designs in my head when we're ready to move on, please subscribe and ring that bell so that you can be told when we next upload a new video, and that you can come along with our new journeys and puppets that we're going to make in the future. I need to get a bigger mantelpiece and I also need to wrap this up. So thank you so much for watching. I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.